with our Tomas Manglona with the very latest, with a whole lot of news and a whole lot going on in Saipan. Good morning.
Tomas, good morning.
Good morning, Bring Chris. Yes, just late last night, the NMI government establishing those long-awaited COVID-19 restrictions. They take effect today, but they're only lasting about 14 days until December 19. As we reported, you can go to our social media pages for the full guidelines there. But all non-essential government employees in the Commonwealth and department agencies will be teleworking, working from home for the next 14 days. Essential government offices will still be open to the public on a limited basis. Of course, one of the new mandates we're seeing is a mask requirement for all public indoor areas. That includes gyms, shops, cultural facilities, restaurants, bars, and nightclubs. The curfew is back. The curfew hours are from 12 a.m. to 4 a.m., with the exception of first responders, those who are employed during that time or might be seeking medical attention, of course. And this restriction for social gatherings caught the attention of many residents because it does not restrict social gatherings in your home or at parties or things of that nature. These social gatherings are for indoor events, limiting attendance to 50% of allowed occupancy unless vaccination verification or negative test verification is done by the event organizer or the establishment owner, in which case it's 100% occupancy, which is allowed. And so those are some of the latest restrictions that people have been waiting on. And of course, as that came through, lots of people also asking what's going to happen to the public schools, because as we've been reporting, they've created a protocol and process that they say they trust in and that works. Late last night, many people might have been waking up this morning, Bring Chris, just finding out that their children won't be going to in-person school anymore. The CMI public school system late last night were announced that they'll go back to remote learning until December 23rd. That's going to be in lockstep with the governor's temporary restrictions. They're going to, of course, as we've been reporting, they've been reopening based on a COVID-19 testing and screening schedule. So students who have gone through that are now back to online learning. However, the essential services, meal services, and COVID-19 testing and vaccinations will still continue. We, of course, posted the latest information on our website and social media pages if you'd like to see that. And over the weekend, too, we also received a record number of vaccinations on Saturday alone, and wanted to play this clip that we got interviewing a mother who brought her 2 kids to the vaccination site to get their vaccines. So this is Christina on Saipan.
Why did you decide, who got vaccinated, all of you?
Both. Could you come here? Both my kids got vaccinated. I just want to make sure they're protected with all these cases recently.
And you're bringing them back to school?
Yes, they are.
And so I guess what is your concern with all the rising cases?
Just making sure everybody gets their vaccination, to get protected, not just for them, but for their families and friends.
And can you just tell us a little bit more how you talked to them about getting vaccinated, or what did you say to your kids?
I told them that we do believe in the vaccine and it works and it'll protect them. That's it.
All right.
Bring Chris, it looks like there also might be some divide within the COVID-19 task force, at least the best we can tell in our reporting. Last night, the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation CEO Esther Munya tweeted, "Shutting down government offices only doesn't make sense when the spread is at family gatherings." And that's coming from the CEO Esther Munya herself. Obviously, as we pointed out, those restrictions for social gatherings seem to be for those establishment and businesses. I wanted to shift gears just a little bit, of course, amid this COVID news. Political news also continues here in the CNMI. Over the weekend, CNMI Governor Ralph Torres was issued a subpoena to appear before the House Committee investigating his expenditures and travel. He was issued the subpoena Saturday morning by the House Sergeant at Arms. It commands him to appear before the committee December 10 at 10:30 in the morning. And the DPS Commissioner, Robert Guerrero, also was supposed to appear tomorrow at 10:30 in the morning, but because of the restrictions and the shutdowns with the government offices, it's unclear how that will take place, whether that will be a limited in-person hearing or virtually over Zoom or some sort of video call. Chair Selena Babata this morning posted on Facebook that she'll be making an announcement in terms of how these restrictions because of COVID are going to impact the hearings. So we'll bring you the latest once Chair Selena Babata makes that available to the public and on how the social restrictions and the COVID restrictions will impact the hearings moving forward. Of course, this is not new to anyone. If you've been following our reporting, the subpoena lists about 7 areas that define the scope of the committee's investigation, dating back to travel, expenditures and reimbursements back to 2015, property and inventory policies, the use of public safety personnel for security, contracts related to consulting, payments of utilities, and federal investigations involving the NMI government. In a statement emailed to KUAM, the chair Babata says, we appreciate that Governor Torres has made several comments to the media with respect to the JGO investigation. He's been waiting for his moment to clear his name, and we look forward to his testimony. We reached out to the CMI governor's office to get a comment on all of these matters, and it's unclear yet if Governor Torres will actually show up on Friday, or if, given the social gathering and COVID-19 restrictions, if it will be even possible. But it is a virtual world, so we'll see how they move forward.
So have they been deemed, are they essential, Tomas, the JGO?
I don't know who makes that call, but I do know the legislature is open today, and we'll definitely hear more from Chair Selena Babata, who's been on the show explaining what's moving forward. She's told us multiple times that she wants to wrap these hearings up. They will be wrapping the hearings up by the end of the year, and so we'll bring you that as it comes. And so we haven't heard anything yet with regards to it. And like I said, the CNY Office of the Governor has yet to release any statement on it as of this morning.
All right. Well, thank you, Tomas. I just got to say, found something very interesting on Twitter when I was going through my feed this morning, and there was a comment by Esther Munoz on Twitter, and it says, shutting down government offices only doesn't make sense when the spread is at family gatherings. I don't know what's going on, but that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think it's an open secret at this point that
that's pretty snarky.
Public health here at least might not exactly be in lockstep with these guidelines, and that, as she pointed out, the spread is happening at family gatherings. These are the facts. This is what the data is showing. Yet, but also on the flip side, something that has been mentioned too, and that she shared, is that it's the community has come together and have, quote unquote, self-imposed some restrictions, but you can't help but notice the rift, given that these official restrictions have nothing to really address what the public health concern might be in this case that she mentioned.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, Tomas, because I mean, public health here on Guam, they can't even blow their nose without getting permission from the governor. So to see this kind of break between the administration and the Public Health Authority and the NMI, it's pretty eye-opening.
Yes, and I think it was noticeable in the press release there weren't any signatures on there, so I think they were like, "Who approved this?" And so, but we'll bring you the latest on that. I'm not sure yet if there will be any sort of press conference or media availability today. We have yet to receive any COVID-19 numbers. Of course, as we also reported over the weekend, unfortunately, one more death, and so. In the community, as we reported on Sunday. And so cases are rising, but also wanted to share that we'll have tonight on primetime talking with people at the vaccination site, 948 on Saturday alone. That's a record number, and that shows that people are coming out, getting their boosters, getting their vaccines, and just preparing. I can't help but feel for students and parents too. This is probably the third time they've been shifting in terms of going back online, back to school, back online. And so we'll see. This is only a 2-week restriction. Of course, there's always the possibility for an extension, but it seems that it might, end just before we gather for the holidays.
Thank you so much, Tomas.
Thanks, Tomas. Be safe.
All right, leading our regional coverage, again, Tomas Manglona of the KUAM news team. He divides his time between the NMI and here on Guam. Obviously, he's in the NMI.